Hello, YouTube! I am Pinstar, and this is City Skylines Early Access Look, Episode 2. So, in our last episode, we covered the getting started structure of a city. We did a little experimentation with some of the road structures that we're doing here, trying out our crisscross roads build here. Is that going to work? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But as our city grows, it'll soon let us know. So today, as promised, we were going to be covering districts. Ah, yes, districts. Very, very, very handy tool for districts, both for crafting your city the way you want it from a gameplay perspective, but also I'd almost say role-playing a little bit. Having a section, a wealthy section look wealthy. Having a not-so-wealthy section, you can sort of play the kind of mayor you want. Either help out the downtrodden or just tax the crap out of them. It's up to you. But let me demonstrate some in action here. So let's take a look at our demand here. All right, we need some more residential, so let's get some of those laid down. We'll just do a little. Not that. Nope, not that. Third time's a charm. There we go. Get that there, get that there. And I might as well get this extended upwards. And it is technically a one-way street. But we don't need to continue doing it one way. Well, we might in the future, but for now we're not. Alright, so in our so what we're gonna do here, let me zone this all up for residential, and then we'll pop some commercial over here. And I'm actually going to de-zone this little chunk right here, because what we're going to do is we're going to put some specialized industry over here. Now you might be saying, Pinstar, what the heck are you doing? There's residentials right here. They're not going to be happy campers. And normally you'd be very right, but we're going to do something a little bit different. All right, we're going to set a district. We are going to make a district right here. Oops. Right up here. And you can just make these into any shape. It does not have it. As you can see, it doesn't snap to the road, so it doesn't matter what the district is covering. It could be buildings, it could be roads, it could be water, it could be, well, pretty much anything. So we're going to just make this whole corner of the map right here one district. And it has given it the name Crest Park. I don't like the name Crest Park. Let's call it I don't know. How about Atlas Park? There we go, Atlas Park. Now, right now, nothing much going on with Atlas Park, and essentially, as far as the simulation goes, nothing different's going to happen in Atlas Park. We haven't defined anything. We've laid down an area and we've given it a name, but the name in the area is kind of meaningless. But there's lots of meaning that can be given to it. So, if we go up here to our info view and we look at the natural resources, Viola, look at this. Look at this little area. It's not super intensive, but this little area right here, up here, good for forestry. Down here, fertile land. Right here, good for farming. So you know what? Let's actually have an even better idea. Watch this. So we're going to take this little road down here. We're going to move you up along here and just connect you. No, there you go. I guess we'll connect you. Hang on. It's a little fussy when you're at the very end of a. There we go. Not the prettiest thing, but it's going to suit my purposes. And okay, so let's just draw some more roads here. Let's get some spacing pretty. go. Got that, and one more for good measure. Voila. Okay. Now let's go back to our districting tool. Let's make a new district. So here we've clicked outside it, so we're painting a brand new district. And you know what? We're going to push Atlas Park back a little bit here. We don't want this whole area to be Atlas Park. We want another district right here. Right here. And it is decided to call it High Park. Sure. Atlas Park and High Park. We like our parks. Now, again, two districts, still meaningless in their distinctions. Not for long. So right down here, you can start setting industrial specialties. You have the forest industry, the farming industry, the ore industry, which you need to get a population of 5,500 to start using, and the oil industry, which is 2,600. You can also just tell it use generic industry. And up here, where we don't even have a district and we just have industrial zones, that's considered generic industry, quote unquote. So it's just going to set up factories and warehouses and other polluting McPolluters and stuff. But now, once we define a district, it's going to use more specialized buildings. So let's do a farming industry right here in High Park, because look at our natural resources, look at that fertility. The farming district's going to be happy about that. And while we're at it, let's go back to our districting tool, go here, and add the forest industry here to Atlas Park. Perfect. Now we still need, we still have some residentials to develop. So let's, you know what? Let's develop them up here. Let's make some more roads. There's my money. My money's doing fine. Want to get plenty of residents coming into here just to get these up and flowing nicely. And a little overlap. All right, not gonna be perfect. That's fine though. One more for good measure. All right, very much not gonna be perfect, but we'll live. Alright, let's get some residentials done here. This is some stuff here, so let's insulate them with some commercials. And then we'll just do residential. Okay, but over down here, we're going to want industry, and industry. Let's get some piping laid down here so everyone's nice and happy with that. All right, now let's turn this up. Once we get some industrial demand, you'll get to see these at in action. Also, I do think I need to drop a fire station, which I will do right here. And a police station, can't afford it yet, but soon. Fire station, slightly more important. Alright, so we're starting to get some more growth here. No industrial demand yet, so we can't really see it in action yet, but as soon as we start getting some more industrial demand going here, you'll see those districts in action. So let's speed things up here a little bit. Alright, growing our stuff fairly nicely. Aha! So, what do we have here? Oh no, that's just more. That's more residentials. Alright, I'm jumping the gun here. I'm excited. I want to show this to you, because I think this is just really the most cool thing ever. Alright. Once we get enough residents moved in, I think once we get the big burst of population just coming down the pipeline here, that's when the RCI meter is going to kick in and decide to suddenly have some demand for industry. Come on, anytime now. Aha! Okay, we got our first little blip of industrial demand. Oh, all right, perfect. So, what do we have down here? A baconary. It's a farming job. It is a farming industry job. Um, because we've built it on an area of fertile land, and because we have told it to be farming specialization, it's going to start building buildings that create farm products. Now, meanwhile, up here, Planks for Life is a timber industry one. Same exact reasoning. Instead of a giant smokestack spewing factory right here next to the residence, we have a lumber mill. Now, what does that really matter? I mean, who cares? It's industry. It's one thing's doing farmy stuff and another thing's doing woody stuff. Well, it does matter. Here's the reason. We look over here to which one is it? Not wind, not health, not education. Might be locked until next level. Outside connections. Here we are. So, if we click on our outside connections, we can see what we import and what we export. And here we import all the generic industries, especially if you have nothing else in your city, are all importers. They will randomly choose one of the different types of stuff that they make and choose to import it. And then they take in the stuff that they import and they turn it into goods, which is why all their exports are going to be turned into just generic goods. But what resources they choose to import is actually important. See this one right here, Garments Limited. It might be a generic industry, but they actually deal with forestry products. And Frank's Fish Stick Factory deals with forestry products. Why they're doing that with fish sticks and not agricultural, I don't know, but it's important because now, everything over here is going to deal in forestry, and everything down here is going to deal in agricultural. We don't see it highlighted as an exporter of agricultural products just because it hasn't worked long enough to produce a load of goods. But eventually, it's going to produce a load of goods, and that load of goods in the form of a truck is either going to be delivered to another local industry that demands it, or if we're producing too much, we'll just get shipped out of the city and out into the world. So somebody else off screen, some other unnamed player, an unnamed city, is the one that's choosing to import that. And this, what's the point of all that? Well, it affects the flow of your truck traffic. Where your goods get to from point A and point B. I mean, all right, we're now a tiny town. We can do decoration, parks and rec, new policies, new buildings. Wonderful. Now, let me show you something else related to districts. So, districts are not only for industries. Districts, I mean, there's no limit to how many districts you make, and they don't cost nothing to make. So, let's choose a new district here, and we're going to paint one up here. Like so. Make this burgeoning residential area a district. Oak Heights, fair enough. And then we're going to make another new district over here. Sweep it along here. Down. So, Pleasant District. I think the names are just randomly generated. Now, so again, what's the point? Why have we made these two different districts? Well, right now, nothing. And you know what? Industrial specialties are going to do nothing to a district of pure residents. But there's some extra levers you get control of here. So let's go to Pleasant District. So now, by clicking on the district, we now get a whole bunch of really, really awesome statistics. It tells us the population in this district, the breakdown of all the residents who live here. If there were other types of zones, it would tell us what types of zones were also in this district, because you can have more than just one type of zone in a district. And it tells us the average development level of the zones within it, so we can tell if it's a wealthier area or a less wealthy area. Obviously, everything's going to be a little on the underdeveloped because we just started this city. But here's the lever that makes me happy. We go here to policies. We have all these ordinances, and these ordinances, just like in the old classic SimCity games, can be enacted citywide if you want. If you want the whole city to have a smoke detector distribution program, you can just enact it from the policies menu down here. But you can also set your policies on a per district basis. So let's just say, you know what? This is going to be the snooty, hotty-totty stuff. So we're going to give them the Parks and Rec thing here, which makes their decorations more effective. I'll build that for them. We're going to do a smoking ban, so it's there. We're going to do a pet ban. We don't want dog poopies on the ground. And we're going to give them smoke detectors. So that, now, the Pleasant District is now, well, a bit more pleasant. It's going to cost us a little bit extra, but the price of paying for all those programs are only going to account for these buildings, and they're the only ones that are going to get the effects for it. Now, let's go over here to Oak Heights. They are less well off. You know what? We're not going to give them anything fancy there. This is the poorer district. They live next to the industry. These are the lower end workers. So you know what? We don't want them using up all our resources, so we're gonna curtail their power and water usage, but we're not gonna give them anything else. We're gonna be kind of jerks to them. Now, this is just an example in the early game of what you can do. There's even more. Look at this button. We can't access it yet until we hit a population of 8,000, but we can change the tax levels in a district. You can choose to make wealthy people or poor people's or residential taxes higher or lower in a district to encourage or discourage certain types of residents from living there. So you can really get your city nice and specialized. Just for completeness sake, let's make ourselves one more district. We'll have this sort of the disaster area, smog central place. That'll mostly be industries, and we're gonna keep the specialization as generic. But you know what? We want to harass them about power and water too. We don't want them sucking up all our resources. The Foggy District, very appropriate, very appropriate. So we'll go here to the Foggy District, and we're gonna harass them about their power and water usage too. Let the rich folks and let the cleaner industries. We're not gonna fuss. We're not going to fuss these guys over with power and water usage. Let them do what they're doing. There are more specialized industries, so let them have their fun. Oop, and we are in need of a police station. I am seeing from these little policeman icons. So let's. Yeah, there we go. Plop a police station there, and that should clear up the crime nice and quickly here. So let's let the simulation cook for a little bit here. Oh yes, and we have new services. So we have a new, so here, remember I was talking about the pleasantry stuff? Well, you have that in the form of reward buildings like this, and also that. So we're going to give it to the nice district here. They're going to get the, what is this? The statue of shopping. So they're going to enjoy increased effect from it because of that local ordinance. Over here, screw up. So here, now not everything in a specialized area produces stuff. So these wheat fields are going to produce stuff, but some of these others, these are these are like slaughterhouses and meat packing plants and other granaries and whatnot. So these are going to up. Here we go. So here, hang on. So here's a tractor. All right. So we haven't produced enough agricultural products yet, so we're importing them at the moment. Exporting agricultural products. Look at that. So we've produced that, so now we're exporting them. And since nothing's demanding them really that much, we're just going to export them and send them out into the world. So that 24% full tractor was made from our goods. And we got a barn on fire here. And yes, if you've ever played SimCity 2013, the one the EA done, you'll remember very well that watching your city burn down as you have like 10 different fire departments scattered around your city and none of them know how to get to the fire was infuriating. The fire department here is very competent. We have one small fire department and we have 2 engines here right on the scene to put this beast out. So this isn't gonna spread. In fact, this isn't even gonna collapse. The building's gonna be a little singed, but over time they clean it up and it goes back to its full usefulness. So huzzah. Alright, hang on, let's take a look at you. Importing, alright. Turning facility. So I'm not catching these fast enough in terms of what they're doing. The other thing to note here, so yeah, we got a smokestack going here, but if we look at our pollution, not wind, come on, where's pollution? Pollution, not education, not water. Noise pollution, crime, not transportation, not population. I need pollution! Game! Where far art thou? There we are. So look at this! Despite being up and running, and despite that little smokestack there, no pollution. These specialized industries are very gentle on the environment compared to their generic brethren here, as you can see from the dark red pollution numbers over there. So if you happen to have the natural resources in the area, it might behoove you to make yourself some specialized districts. Now, not all specialized districts are created equal. The 2 that we just built here, agriculture and forestry, are considered renewable, meaning that once you've located a fertile patch of forest or a fertile patch of farmland here, they'll just keep growing and refertilizing and replanting constantly, so they can be pretty much permanent additions to your city. Now you look at the other resources, say ore and oil, like a big patch of ore up there. Those have a finite amount in them. They will eventually be depleted. And when that happens, then you're probably going to have to either repurpose the industry for generic or keep them ore industry and they're all just going to have to import. But either way, but they also make a lot more pollution than the generics. They actually produce more than average. The trade-off for all of that, worrying about depleting supply and greater pollution, is they rake in tax dollars much more than any of the renewables or the generics. So there's a trade-off to that, and the lay of your land in terms of what's fertile, where can greatly affect the shape of your city and how it develops. So that being said, it looks like we are running a little bit low on juice here. So I'm going to go ahead and put a cut here. So in our next episode, we're going to explore some of our budget options, some of our power and water and other utilities that we're going to have to be worrying about, and just going through and growing our city bigger and bigger. So if you like this episode and want to see more like it, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment, good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback is always welcome. So until next time, this has been Pinstar, signing out. See ya.